let's talk about mixed signals today because it's so easy to confuse mixed signals and the feelings that mixed signals generate with real love. So before we dive into this, I want to welcome you in case you're new here. My name is Lindsay. I'm the Real Love Alchemist, and I help you go from bad relationships to real love with the magic of subconscious work. So if you're interested in learning more about me and what I do, click on the link in the description. So let's first break down what mixed signals are. So mixed signals is something that happens a lot when you're dating and somebody seems interested in you 1 minute, but then does something the next minute that makes you feel like, maybe they're not that interested. So maybe when you first meet them, they're very engaged, they text you back quite frequently, but then a couple days go by and then they're more distant. They don't respond right away, or maybe they don't respond at all. But then a couple more days go by and they're back again. They're interested again, maybe they ask you out, you have a great date, but then you don't hear from them. It's this back and forth of seeming interested 1 minute and then not the next. So what happens emotionally when you're experiencing mixed signals? A couple different things can happen. You can feel anxious, like unsure about yourself, insecure about where you stand with this person, whether they really like you or not. But what you can also feel is a longing. And this longing is something that I see over and over again, people mistaking for real love. So real love is actually not an intense emotional feeling. What I consider to be real love is peace. It's acceptance. It's a very calm, grounded feeling. Longing is the opposite. Longing is really intense. If you've ever experienced longing, it's this like yearning for somebody that it feels like it almost pulls you out of yourself. You just feel like you're reaching for somebody, and you're reaching for somebody because they're not present. They're not fully with you. They're showing up sometimes, but then when they're not, you feel that pull and that longing for someone. Now, you can have longing in a healthy relationship when the person goes away, or they're out of touch for a little while. But if you're in a situation, either a dating situation or a relationship where there's a lot of longing happening, it might be because the person is giving you mixed signals. And here's the thing with mixed signals. Mixed signals are not real love, even though, again, it can feel so compelling when you're feeling that longing, when you're feeling like so much excitement to see this person again or to be with them. It can feel so much like real love. That's not it. Because what mixed signals do is they leave you feeling confused at a deep level, insecure, unsure of yourself. And that's not real love. I'm here to tell you this because I have wasted so much of my life on partners who gave mixed signals. And now that I'm in a relationship where that's not the case, where my partner is giving very clear signals, I would not go back to that mixed signals at all. But this was before I knew what that feeling was like of being with somebody who wasn't giving mixed signals. That was actually mostly all that I knew. And here's where we can get kind of mixed up, because we can cling on to the times where our partners or people we're dating really did seem like they were interested, where they did really seem present. And we can cling to those and really get stuck in situations where it's ultimately not serving us, this relationship isn't healthy for us, but it's like, look, remember that time, or look, remember these times when this person really did show up. But again, I'm here to tell you that if overall the relationship leaves you feeling confused or unsure about where this person stands, or they're just not able to communicate to you how they feel, then it's not real love. This is not a good person for you. You will never be satisfied in the long term in that kind of dynamic. I don't care how many boxes they check off on your checklist or how awesome they seem on paper. This is not a dynamic that will make you happy in the long term. And so then where our mind often automatically goes is, well, did they really love me? I don't mean in just a dating situation, but sometimes you can have mixed signals in an actual relationship. I felt like that was my marriage a lot of the time. I was with someone who was emotionally unavailable. There were a lot of mixed signals there. And often we can get stuck on that. Like, does that mean that they didn't really love me? Sometimes, here's the truth. Sometimes this person does really love you and they just can't communicate it to you. Maybe they're so out of touch with being able to express their emotions, or they're simply just too traumatized to express their emotions. even if they did really love you, it's still not going to be a good relationship because they can't communicate it to you. I mean, I don't know anyone who can be happy in a relationship long term where where if they just weren't communicating that they loved you, that you would feel good in. I know I wasn't. I was in a relationship like that where there wasn't a lot of words like that. And I was very unhappy. So again, even if someone loves you and they can't communicate it, it's not enough. Same thing with dating. Maybe they are really into you. Maybe the mixed signals they're giving are because they're truly just busy, or maybe they're trying to play it cool and act like they're not that interested in you because somebody on YouTube told them to do that. Maybe that's the case. But again, if they're not able to communicate clearly how they feel about you or what they want or that they're interested in you, it's not going to work. It's still not real love because you need that communication piece. You need the opposite of mixed signals. You need clarity in order to be happy in a relationship. And I can use myself again as an example. So maybe in my past relationships, maybe these partners really did truly love me. That could be. I don't know. And the fact that I didn't know, the fact that they weren't able to communicate that, they gave mixed signals all the time, that meant that they were not the right partner for me. Love is not enough. You need to be able to communicate that very clearly and with intention. So I've talked about how mixed signals can make you very unhappy in a relationship, but I want to dive deeper into why that is the case. So when somebody is giving you mixed signals, that can be very, very triggering to your nervous system. For a lot of us who lean more anxiously attached, when somebody is present one day and then distant the next, and then back again and distant the next, that can be such an intense experience on your nervous system. It can trigger a ton of anxiety. You can feel very insecure, very unsafe. You're constantly in fight or flight. And again, that's a recipe for disaster when you're trying to have peace and happiness in a long-term relationship. It does not go together. Mixed signals do not equal a calm nervous system, because our nervous systems are pretty sensitive to someone's energy and the type of energy they're putting out and bringing to the relationship. And we can pick up on when someone is a bit ambivalent, when they're here one day, when they're distant the next. And it's really, really tough to feel safe in a relationship dynamic like that. So I know some of you might be watching this and you might be recognizing yourself in a dynamic like this right now. Maybe you're dating somebody, or maybe you're in a relationship with someone who is giving mixed signals, and you might be thinking, well, what if they go to therapy? What if they work on themselves? Maybe then we could get to the place where they could be more consistent and I would feel safe and loved in this relationship. And what I would tell you is, yes, that's possible. They could do that. But I want to offer you another alternative here. What if you were with a partner who didn't have to go to therapy to realize how amazing you are? What if you had a partner who, right after meeting you, recognized what a treasure and a gift you would be in their life? How would it feel if someone didn't have to do any work at all to realize how awesome you are? Just sit with that for a minute, because that's the type of relationship, that's the type of love that you deserve. That's real love. Now, there's nothing wrong with someone who might have an avoidant attachment style having to go to therapy and working to release some of the wounds that they have that prevent them from being all in. That's totally cool. But I want to paint this picture for you because that's the kind of relationship you deserve. Somebody that has already done the work so that they can be fully present with you from the get-go. And they've done enough healing to be able to recognize the awesomeness that you are and what a blessing you would be to their life. Again, that's what you deserve. That clear, consistent love versus hoping that maybe someday somebody has enough therapy that they realize how awesome you are. So that's my message for you today. Mixed signals is not real love. And again, I don't care how amazing they seem in all these other ways, you will not be happy long-term in a relationship where someone is not showing up with clarity and consistency. Even if you have so many big feelings towards them. Emotions are not it. I mean, I say this all the time in my work. Love is not enough to make a healthy relationship, just as the emotions that you feel for someone are not enough to make a relationship healthy either. You need so much more than that. So if you're wondering, well, what are the kinds of things that I need to look for in a partner? Like what actually makes a relationship healthy? Then I have something for you. I have a new ebook that just came out. It's called The Ultimate Guide to Real Love, 20 Things You Need to Know. And I go into great detail about what real love actually looks like, what a healthy relationship looks like, so you can spot it and find that healthy relationship for yourself. So if you're interested in downloading that ebook, it's free, it's an instant download. Click on the link in the description. And if you're curious to know how I knew that I was dating the right person after a lot of toxic relationships, then check out this video here.